Welcome to the pod. You're listening to What the Reality with me. Cashew Rapids, we are back with another Toxic Tuesday episode. It is an eventful Tuesday because there has been a lot of stuff going on. How was you guys' weekend? I contemplate talking about this. First of all, binged Real Housewives of London. We're gonna get into that. And I binged Hulu, The Girls. We're gonna get into that. And then of course we're gonna talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. How was your weekend? I have been setting my intentions forward for, just dating, trying to be a bachelorette in the city, a girl in the city. I still don't think the city I'm currently living in is for me. And that's dating aside. Guys, not to say we had an active roster because I don't know. I just don't believe in putting all my eggs in one basket. When I tell you it is the smartest way of dating, and unfortunately, the baskets have fallen how they have fallen. They are no longer around. And that's why we spread your eggs out. We don't invest fully into like one person. I just genuinely believe in that. I was supposed. Do I want to share this? Do I want to share this? Okay. I was supposed to, I had a date this past weekend. Or just say that we had a date, and I don't know if I want to. If you guys are watching me on YouTube, you should see my face. Okay. So I went on this date, and let's just say, for starters, I was already pretty pessimistic about it. Because I knew there was no physical attraction, at least on my end. However, I love how Liz McGraw from Rhode Island is like this whole however. I love a good however now. I'm like, I'm gonna go because I'm actively just experiencing things. I want to experience life, I want to do things with people, and I want to get dolled up and get cute, and I deserve it. If someone wants to wine and dine me, I should do it. You know what I mean? I don't have to give anything besides time, a good conversation. I mean, obviously you're looking at something amazing. So it's like I don't really have to give anything besides like, okay, a little energy, a little entertainment purposes. Nothing too deep. Everything does not it doesn't have to be so deep, everything. This is probably the worst date of my life. And I haven't went on a date in a while. This is the worst date of my life. He pulls up in this car. Not the type of car that I personally would have been in, but I get it. This man is from New York, and he is unfortunately in Cleveland, and obviously wanted to take your girl out because who doesn't? But regardless of that, I'm like, I give him grace. I feel like I've learned this about myself also in this whole dating process. I've learned that I give a lot of people grace that I don't even know. And it's like, people think I'm a bitch, but like, until you get to know me, they're like, I'm like literally Sammy Sweetheart, the sweetest bitch you'll ever meet. Like, I give a lot of grace to people, and I empathize a lot. And I'm trying to categorize where that empathy needs to be cut off, because it's like, at the end of the day, I don't know you. So it's like, I try to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're from New York. You've never had a car. You've never driven before. Why would you want to pick me up and drive to this destination? Regardless, messed up. Okay, picks me up. There is a bottle of wine in the back seat. This car is no tent. So it's like, I have tinted car. So like, I can probably have some things in my back seat and you wouldn't know walking up to it, right? Unless you get into my car. I have a tent. The craziest thing, actually, we want to talk about how tinted my car is. Let's talk about it. My car is so tinted. I literally was leaving sushi this past weekend with my friend, and walking to my car, see these two girls on my car, like redoing their makeup and everything, like redoing their lip liner, redoing the lip gloss. But I didn't know they were doing this. All I see is these two girls literally staring into my car. I hit the chime. Ding ding. what the heck is going on here? And then they turn around, they get so flustered, like, oh my gosh, we're sorry, your tent is so perfect. So that's what type of tent I like to roll with. Not shocking, my sister just sent me something, what we're going to talk about it anyway. The man don't have dark enough tent to be having a bottle of wine in his back seat, half drunk. What is going on here, dude? Anyway, pulls up. He clearly doesn't really know how to drive. It's that New Yorker. It's that New York in you. And I never realized an ick of mine is like men that don't know how to drive. But it kind of is an ick because I'm actually, if you know me, guys, I'm like definitely afraid of cars. Like I'm always afraid like my car is the type, not my specific car, but I'm always afraid I'm going to be in a car and it's just going to explode. Like I just think like cars are still made like they are made from the 1920s. Get in the car. He's not really driving. He's like really slow with the lights, like the reaction. I'm just like, good thing this place is close by, right? Because I live downtown, right? So I'm like, good thing I live in the city. So good thing it's like not that far from the location. And I learned that he also lived in the city. So I'm like, why wouldn't you just send a Lyft to get me? You know what I mean? Especially if you New York. New Yorkers, they just gonna send a Lyft, right? They, you know what I mean? Why are we driving there anyway? He doesn't know where he wants to park his car. He doesn't know where he wants to park his car. And I was like, well, this parking lot is probably your best bet in this area, or you can do that one across the street and like try to scan the QR code. Because that's one thing about Cleveland. Now they're making you pay to park everywhere. You would think we was in Chicago or Detroit. No, Detroit. I was just in Detroit. They don't make you pay to park everywhere. Let's just say that. Cleveland on their Chicago stuff, they're being weird. So we go to the other parking lot. This man pulls in. It's very tight. I said, this is a good amount space. Like, are you just gonna like pull in, or are you a back end type of guy? Because you know I'm a back end type of girl. Like I like to back on in, right? So basically he pulls on in very close to a Range Rover. We are very close to a Range Rover. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to straighten out. He's like, really? Like I think he's like, yeah, I'm probably am. Tries to put his gear in reverse. It's not going in reverse, you guys. It's not going in reverse. It is stuck. I'm like, can you put it in park? It's not going in park, you guys. He starts like jimmy rigging it. A piece of his shift gear falls off. So we are now in a car deathly close to a Range Rover. And if you know Cleveland, you just know. I just know it's about to be some Cleveland stuff in a minute. But he don't know that. But I know that. Like, it's not working. He's getting hot. He's getting flustered. Another ick of mine. How do you handle tight situations? This man is like, I'm going to step out the car. It's just getting a little hot. Leaves me in the car. Well, I'm about to get out too. What? He sees a cop, tries to chase down this cop car to talk to him. Guys, I kid you not. I'm like, what is the cop about to do? This ain't New York. You can't just be chasing that. Like, the biggest ick ever. Gets back to the car. He's like, I'm thinking if I just leave my car in neutral, we'll be fine. Do you want to put your emergency brake on? Oh, I don't even know what my emergency brake is. Now I don't feel safe. What about your insurance? Can't they call AAA? Oh, I don't know what insurance I have. Some Cleveland stuff start happening. This girl come out, her Range Rover, she can't even get in the car. These guys is knocking on the car, talking about, you need to move over so my friend can get in the car. I have to get out the car and basically talk them off the ledge because he's not handling it like a man. At this point, I'm outside the car talking to these people. The lady ends up climbing in her car. I'm just so glad her Range Rover wasn't, you know what I mean? Um, it was at that point I'm texting my friend. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to come get me. And the gag is, me and my friend both had dates, and we both said we would let each other know the vibes. Like, if we need to rescue one another, what is it giving? So my friend thankfully was able to rescue me. And I told the guy, yeah, I'm gonna go. He was like, man, this is probably like the worst date ever, huh? Didn't even make it to dinner. I'm like, yeah, yeah. But this is what I've learned. The Instagram girls will always be better than me because they can actually go on dates with people they're unattracted to. And this is the gag. Like, no shade, no tea. I was just not attracted to him. I was just literally doing this because this man like blew up my phone. And honestly, not even blew it up. He's like texted me twice, but like I just am like, you know what? He wants to spend his money on somebody, let it be me. You know what I mean? And I just think this is an overall lesson because I should have never even went on the date because there was no physical attraction. So regardless if we did go through the date, had a nice time, I would have never seen myself growing any physical attraction for him. He's not an ugly guy. It's just not my type of guy. And that whole situation really just blew me because I had already had a dating situation happen this week where I've already had to cut off another guy. And so just cutting off two guys within the same week was honestly not on my bingo card, but I'm glad it happened before I'm fully invested. Regardless, we never made it to dinner. Me and my friend ended up going out, and having a good time. And it's just really funny how things happen. Um, I just don't think you should be offering to drive someone if you don't even know how your car works. And especially if you're not from here. And then the gag is like, I thought he just moved here. Like, no, you've been here for 9 months. So this man has contacted me since, but his number is deleted. And I'm just not really interested in doing that. I'm not. The physical attraction really was not there. um and yeah, I'm there's this is a lesson. Certain things I am above dating just because I want someone to spend money on me. And that's the realest thing that I feel like a lot of us women have to say. Like, I am above just dilly dallying just so someone can spend their coin on me. Like, I don't see how the girls do it or the girls that go to Dubai do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I wasn't going to do anything like Dubai crazy, like the Dubai stories I hear. But I'm just saying, like, there's certain women that just date for things, for experiences. And I don't think I'll be one of them because I have to literally be physically and emotionally attracted to you. And that's the one thing I will say with him is like, there was some emotional intelligence connection. But like I said, physically, if I look over to you and you look over to me and I look over to you and you look over to me, it's just not there. It's just not there, you guys. It wasn't there at all. And yeah, so that was like, we didn't even make it to the date. So I was like, damn, good thing I did bring my card and my ID because I had to pay for my own dinner that night. And it's okay. Pay week is coming up, but damn, I was really hoping I didn't have to pay for myself to eat something. But I was looking so good, I still wanted to go out. So I was glad, like, me and my friend are like DTL down to life at the end of the day. And that is the story. I don't share that many personal stories on this platform because we have to get right into the reality stuff. And you guys are probably like, ew, like, I don't want to hear this part. But it's like, honestly, just funny. Like, I am in my bachelorette era. So it's like kind of like on to the next. I'm really good at like decompartmentalizing. Is that the word? I'm really good at like not deeping it. I don't really like, at the end of the day, I think that I have such amazing skin, and the edges could be fuller, but I do have like healthy skin, and my hair is getting healthy because I laugh so much. And I think when you laugh, that's how you live longer. And I think it's so funny, this last week I'm looking forward to this week because this week I just know it's going to be chaotic because I do have some events lined up this week. And it's like, it's just always something. But I do think the key to living a successful, stress-free, joyful life is honestly to laugh. And the fact that I'm not even going to tell you this other situation, maybe I'll save that for another episode. But the fact that this happened was kind of just like the cherry on a really disgusting Sunday. of the week. And I had no choice but to literally laugh because it was just such an effed up week. Like, dating wise, okay? Like, it was just such a mind F. And the fact that this date happened this way is honestly hilarious to me. And that's why I can laugh about it now. No shade to the man. Um, there was never gonna be anything though because of that physical attraction. And I just realized I like people with a little more swag. And I don't know, I have a certain, I don't think I have a type, but like low key, I guess I do have a type. So that's what it be given. The Instagram baddies, the ones that just be dating for the plot, you guys will always be better than me because I'm just not there yet. It was just hilarious when this man is like, I'm gonna step out, it's getting a little hot. And I'm like, you're gonna leave me in the car? And then he was like, well, I hope I can make it up to you. I'm like, yeah, I don't think, I said, I'm gonna have to let you know. It was just at that moment, I was just like, I don't think you're gonna see me again, like ever. You might see me out, but keep going. Don't stop to say hi to me. Let's move on to what the heck is going on. What's the reality? What the F is going on? I'll tell you what the F is going on. Kim Zolciak's son. Kim Zolciak's 15-year-old son is in some mess currently. Let's just go to the press and let's see what is going on. So he was basically charged. This is KJ. KJ is one of the twins. Or no, KJ is the oldest. He's the oldest son. So he's being charged as an adult right now for sexual battery. Let's get the full story up. Because I remember reading this, I was just like genuinely confused. Okay, this is a 15-year-old KJ. So KJ, whose full name is Khloe Jagger, was charged with aggravated sexual battery and aggravated sodomy on August 17 following his arrest in Alpharetta, Georgia. The teen is being charged as an adult under Georgia's SB 440 law, which gives adult superior court jurisdiction over teenagers aged 13 to 17 accused of specific violent felonies. Unfortunately, this story is very weird, though, I will say. Kim and Khloe are both denying that this has even happened. Kim just told TMZ in a statement that the allegations being made against my son are nothing short of reckless and deeply troubling. I cannot talk today. He categorically denies ever being involved with this woman or engaged in the conduct she has alleged. So basically, this girl is claiming that KJ assaulted her inside of a gym changing area. According to court docs obtained by TMZ, an officer was dispatched to North Fulton Hospital on April 24th, 2026 for a reported sexual assault. Police say the alleged victim, a teenage classmate of Khloe and Kim's son, and her father claimed the incident occurred one day earlier inside a nearby gym. Cops say the girl told them that she was hanging out the gym when she saw her friend Corey Bierman Jr., and he suggested they go to a co-ed sauna. In order to get to the sauna, they had to walk through a family changing room, which is where the alleged incident happened. In the police report, she alleged that Khloe Jr. started to get touchy with her and she told him no. But he continued at one point, forced her mouth on his private area. She also alleges he digitally peed her private area. Okay, so when I was reading this, I was so confused with digitally peed meant. Digitally and penetrated. I think I could say it like that. I mean, either way, I'm not getting monetized. I don't. Who cares? Okay, so digitally penetrated. I was so confused. I was like, what do you mean? Someone had to point out digitally is what they use for the fingers. Digits, that's what they call the fingers. So basically, a little Lindsay Carl finger bang type of situation. That's what basically happened. That's what she's alleging. Okay, that's what digitally peed means. Police launched an investigation. So this is where it gets weird. The police did launch an investigation. An officer says he began attempting to contact Khloe Sr. on May 14th. The officer says he spoke with him on May 18th, and Khloe Sr. said he would discuss the matter, obviously, with Kim. But this is where I think it gets a little wonky for a lot of people, because the police report notes that the alleged victim was examined at a hospital and doctors did not find any evidence of male DNA in her mouth or her vagine. So it just seems okay. Of course, my mom was calling. So yeah, it just kind of seems a little far fetched that this situation was happening. I'm not sure if it's true or not. Obviously, there's an investigation going on. So Kim is saying that he took a polygraph test, basically, and she's saying he took a polygraph test. So let me see. The allegations being made against my son are nothing short of reckless and deeply troubling. Um, my son voluntarily took a polygraph examination regarding these allegations and the impasse. Additionally, an examination was conducted and no DNA belonging to my son was found. We are also aware that this individual has made similar allegations involving two other people, which raises serious concerns that deserve to be carefully examined. Zolciak added, false accusations can have devastating consequences, not only for the person being accused, but also for genuine survivors of sexual assault and abuse. Every legitimate allegation deserves to be taken seriously and investigated based on the facts and evidence. At the same time, no one should be publicly condemned based solely on an accusation. So, like, obviously, we want to, of course, believe the victim, and hopefully, there's no, what is it called? I'm learning like new words. Tommy rot. Tommy rot basically means nonsense. Hopefully, there's no like just nonsense going on, and people aren't just lying on him because of like the mom, Kim Zolciak, and Croy Bierman, and like, you know, trying to get a story in or something. I'm really hoping that's not the case in this situation. However, I do think it's interesting that a police report was done and nothing was found, especially if she went to the cops like the day after and nothing was found. No DNA was found within her if she's saying this had happened, but they couldn't find any male DNA. So that is a little alarming to me that there has been no male DNA found. I don't know if she's waited, but like, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't like to talk about like stuff like that because I'm like, first of all, they're under 18, and then second of all, no DNA was found, and now you're telling me there's a polygraph test involved, and I feel like with polygraph tests, like people can lie on those. So I don't know. I don't know. That is that situation. We also have to talk about this other weird viral situation that's going on. Texas Roadhouse is basically facing a ton of backlash. People are going on strike. The only thing Texas Roadhouse, in my opinion, is good for is the bread. I've went there and I've tried the food. The food is the most basic food you can get. It's like the Stassi Schroeder of food. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not good food. Texas Roadhouse, the only thing that they're known for is their buns and that cinnamon butter. Like, it is amazing, but they're basically facing backlash. There was this Facebook group found over 40,000 members, I believe. They're like a bunch of people, over 400,000 members in this Facebook group. And they're basically a bunch of white servers from Texas Roadhouse saying all of this disgusting stuff that they are going to do to Black customers' food, including licking their fingers, touching food, and spitting on rolls ordered by Black diners. Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse were specifically named in the alleged post, which also claims that that some restaurant cooks participated. So they're also saying these are like not just the servers, but these are the chefs. No screenshots or other verified evidence has been publicly released to establish the group's size, membership, or connection to either company. But it's basically a private Facebook group literally called White and Proud. And now every time I go to Texas Roadhouse, I think I've went like in the past, like I've went once in the past year. I got a Caesar salad with salmon. It was like the most disgusting Caesar salad ever. Like I said, this food is like not good. The only stuff they are known for and good for is literally the bread rolls. So I wouldn't be dining there anyway. I will say they should probably be checking some group texts for Cracker Barrel, because if I'm being completely honest, I could definitely see Cracker Barrel also being in the middle of an investigation for doing some foul stuff to the Black diners and the Black patrons. So they are currently, yeah, in Texas. Roadhouse did put out an apology saying, we are aware of the video that is being shared with an accusation that has been made towards our restaurants. We believe it to be completely unfounded, and we take every accusation toward our brand seriously. We are investigating this alleged abhorrent behavior, because that's what it is, and remain committed to treating every guest with a respect, dignity, and the legendary service they deserve. Due to losing our verification, her comments are not being seen. Okay. So here is a screenshot from Nancy Smith, white and proud. To all you Blacks in here, keep this in mind. Hope you enjoy your meal next time you eat out. There's a Facebook group that I am a part of, and it is for white servers. We have come up with a plan. Ooh, it's like getting darker. Sorry for the color change, you guys, on YouTube. We have come up with a plan. When a table of Black diners comes in and places their order, we walk back to the kitchen, get your food when ready. There's always a blind spot in the kitchen, and we are licking our fingers and touching your food. If it happens to be a Texas Roadhouse or Logan's, those rolls are full of our white saliva. Some of the cooks are in on it too. Think they are playing? They aren't. Believe me, this has been going on since y'all started this nonsense with Caramello, the candy bar, Anthony crap. By the way, this group has over 400K members. Enjoy y'all's food. What candy bar situation? Yikes. I don't know what that is, but I don't know what else is going on besides Prince Harry and freaking Meghan Markle are moving back to the UK. There was a situation a couple of weeks ago about a Black professor in the UK that has been basically was caught dead, or not caught dead, but was found dead after basically the British media had made a whole mockery of his, whole academic career as a scholar and as a professor. Basically, the British media bullied him, claiming that he was plagiarizing, and yeah, a Black professor. And the British media really blew this up. And then a lot of people were like, Meghan Markle knew to get out, right? Now, a couple weeks later, the story is that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are moving back to the UK. The only reason I genuinely think they are leaving California is because Archie and Lilibet, I think. Well, yeah. Archie and Lilibet are starting British school this September. Is that their children? Or is that the other people's children? Yeah, I think this is their children. Yeah. I think it's because their children are starting school this fall. So that's kind of why they're moving back. Otherwise, I don't think they would have moved back. I don't know if they're going to be, again, actively involved in The Crown, because I did watch The Crown on Netflix. I never finished it. I left off on, I think I had like 4 more episodes left, and I'm probably never going to finish it, but I don't know, I might finish it. The Crown really explained like everything very well to me, and like how it's all been, and like Princess Diana's like relationship with the press and stuff, and just like the British media. It's honestly just a mess. So I do hope once Prince Harry and Meghan Markle move back, I hope her mental is okay, because the way they do talk about her, the racism, the misogyny, it's very cruel. And The Crown, I just would love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation of, I think we got to go back, we got to go back where we got these children, they are a part of The Crown. And I just wonder how Meghan Markle feels. Meghan Markle's gotten so much hate. One, because she is a Black woman. 2, people were claiming she didn't know who Prince Harry was, or she knew. But if I'm being completely honest, I wouldn't have known who Prince Harry was. Like, I'm like, oh, maybe you look familiar, but I don't think I would have known either, because I don't think people realize when you're not really dialed in into that life, you really don't know. And this is someone that's obsessed with pop culture. I obviously knew about the Queen Elizabeth, like I knew about Princess Diana, but like, I don't know if I would know, like, if I'm meeting this man randomly, like, wait, this is Prince Harry, like, you know what I mean? And people were like, she knew who this man was and plotted on him and like pretended not to know him. But it was like, I don't think it's that case. Like, I just don't. I think Meghan Markle is a precious soul, and I think a lot of the hate she gets is because a lot of people cannot fathom that a Black woman was married to a white prince. That's really what it stands down to. And I think she's only gotten so much flack because she is a Black woman. And it's kind of like, how dare a Black woman, be a princess, or like not even a princess, a duchess. You know what I mean? Like, that's nothing. That's something that hasn't happened. As much as we love Bridgerton and we see all the scopes of, skin tones and diversities, Bridgerton is not a reflection of what it is in modern day in Europe. They are still very stuck in the times. Everything is very white, white, white. I wish it was like Bridgerton, and maybe I would romanticize the idea of becoming a princess even more, because I used to always want to be a princess, but it's not like that at all. It's actually very white. And did she call me again? It's actually like pretty white, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, I think Meghan Markle, that's the only reason she gets so much flack, is because the people are like, how dare this Black woman, she's married to this prince, and then she's still complaining that she doesn't feel like appreciated, she doesn't feel supported under the crown, all of this stuff, when it's like, no, this is true. The crown, Queen Elizabeth and all of them, they were feeding stories to the press about her so they could protect themselves. Like, it's definitely very possible. And a lot of people say if Princess Diana was still around, her and Meghan Markle would very much be super close. So yeah. In other news, before we move on to some reality TV, I want to talk about what did I want to talk about? I watched Buying Beverly Hills. I don't know if I ever talked about it on this show. It only got 2 seasons. It was out on Netflix. And I remember that Farrah was in a long-term relationship. Obviously, Farrah is Kyle and Mauricio's daughter. She's actually Kyle's daughter from a previous marriage, right? This is just like some really interesting tea. It's very interesting. So if you ever watched Buying Beverly Hills, you would know that there was kind of like this inside joke that she was going to get with Zach Goldsmith. He is an agent at the agency. He was definitely like her dad's age, or Mauricio's age. He's definitely her dad, like Mauricio's age for sure. And Farrah's definitely, I think she's like 30 something, but it was a thing because it's like the second season she had broken off the engagement with the other guy because it just wasn't like any energy or reciprocity. Guys, what am I on today? I can't pronounce anything. There wasn't, like, they just didn't have a spark, in my opinion, but they had been together for a while. They were engaged, like, or they were working up to engagement. He finally proposed, and then she said things had shifted, like things had changed. So in the second season, she's like flirting a lot with Zach, but what we know about Zach is that Zach is married and has children. Okay. I think it's really weird that this show is like egging on these two to be together. I thought it was really weird, especially her sister too. I thought it was a little weird. We just got Pharaoh's baby daddy reveal, and it is indeed Zach Goldsmith from the agency. This is insane. So I'm assuming he's no longer with his wife, but I'm pretty sure he has like 4 children with his wife. And they just revealed that they are having a son. So it's very, yeah, it's very weird. This lore is really weird because I feel like not a lot of people talked about Buying Beverly Hills when it was out. So the fact that this is like happening is really interesting. We do know Farrah works at the agency. I just thought she was doing it the good old, like, inject the sperm, but I don't know. That's really interesting. I want to know how many kids Zach has, let me see. Okay, Zach has 2 sons with his ex Jennifer Hamilton Goldsmith. So somebody said Jennifer Hamilton actually wished her congratulations, Farrah. So they must all be on good terms. But it was really weird because on Buying Beverly Hills, it just had seemed like they had a flirty banter, but I was just very confused with them. Like, isn't this a married man? Like, they had a very like flirty banter for it to be like a married man, and I was like, okay, yikes, I don't know what's going on. What's really funny is there's this Bravo blind item page on Twitter that a year ago, and I think their last season was like 2024, so maybe like 2 years ago, or maybe I think the last season was in 2025, but they didn't renew it because Netflix said it was just too much money to produce, which I can totally see. Basically, this Bravo T page was like, give it a year or 2 years from now, Farrah and Zach are going to get together. Zach's going to be having issues in his marriage, soft launching their relationship. Farrah's going to be there for him because they both still work at the agency, right? So, like what we saw on TV, so clearly something was real happening behind the scenes, right? It wasn't just production. We're going to talk about production very soon. So, this Bravo T page said that a year ago and then quoted it, said, told you guys, because we remember watching it and I thought it was weird. I don't know if anyone watched Buying Beverly Hills. I feel like not a lot of people did, but I was very uncomfortable with Buying Beverly Hills because I felt like even the one daughter, Sophia, I think, was like flirting with one of the agents and trying to get with them. And it was just like weird. It was just uh, like, girl, you were like my age, like trying to, and I was like 24. It's like, me and her, I think, are the same age. Like she's gonna be, I think she's 27 now. But that back then, you're like 24 and you're like flirting with these like 30 plus men, and not even 30, because I'm like, okay, that's a stretch. But I mean, at 24, you're flirting with like a 39-year-old. So it was just a little questionable. It was a little questionable. So I wasn't really a fan of the show. I thought it was a little weird, and I thought the whole Farrah and Zach thing was weird. I was like, okay, that's a little weird, especially if he's married. That's her baby daddy, and they are having a son, and it's like the first son in the freaking Umansky family. Those are all girls over there. Every single one of them are girls. So this is honestly like the Rob Kardashian, honestly, at this point. But I do think that is really weird. Other reality topics, Soraya and Joey Bad A have announced that they are no longer together. At least Soraya has. And it's not shocking to me because I always thought like this man was not good. I just sent on TikTok. My sister just sent it to me. Um, yeah, I'm not shocked. Unfortunately, she did have a kid by him though, but I'm not shocked that they're not together anymore. Repeated infidelity. Is that shocking? Nope. Um, Okay, let's see what her statement says. Soraya's like so gorgeous. You guys ever watch The Empire or Empire? That used to be my show on Fox. Okay, so she released a statement. She said there comes a point in a woman's life when choosing herself is no longer an option and becomes necessary. After much thought, I have made the difficult decision to end my engagement and relationship with the father of my child. Joey, I loved deeply, believe wholeheartedly in my life we were building and wanting nothing more to protect our family. They did begin dating in 2023, and they got engaged 2 years later in 2025. She welcomed their kid, I believe, in 2024. Unfortunately, I also had to face a painful truth. There has been repeated infidelity throughout our relationship, including during some of the most vulnerable and meaningful moments of my life, aka pregnancy. I share this not for sympathy, retaliation, or to publicly tear anyone down. I share because too many women are taught to question themselves before they question what it is happening right in front of them. If your intuition is telling you something is wrong, listen to it. So here's the gag. Joey has been very open about his non-monogamous view on relationships. In 2021, he publicly claimed polyamory, but declared he was leaving that lifestyle behind after committing to his former fiance. He is also one of the people that was actually rooting for Tristan Thompson to continue cheating on Khloe Kardashian. He was like, you just need to she needs to kind of accept it at this point. Like, she clearly wants to be with him, and basically you're never going to change this man. I mean, he just needs to stop apologizing for just being him. So yeah, I mean, and I always go back to that one video of them arguing in the street. And I just wonder, she said repeated infidelity. So I wonder at what point does she convince herself this is okay? As long as he's coming back to me at night, he can do whatever he want. But as long as you're sleeping in my bed. And she said it's repeated and helping in her most vulnerable times, obviously during the pregnancy. And it's just kind of like, girl, we knew that she was with Jacob Lattimore for the longest. And I was shocked when they broke up. But it was revealed on Jason Lee show on BET that she was saying with him, he was not ready for commitment. They were just still constant in floating a deal. Obviously, they have a beautiful kid together, so everything happens for a reason. But it does suck because I don't know. I think a lot of people could see it coming that wasn't a relationship anyone should really aspire to. I mean, you guys just like wear nice matching outfits, but other than that, like I at least for like what I've heard from Joey, he's maintained to being outside. I've never really looked at them as couple goals ever, ever. Um, yeah. And then what else did she say? She said, don't make yourself smaller to keep someone else comfortable. Don't compromise your values because you're afraid of losing the future. Imagine and don't allow someone else's choices to become a referendum on your worth. That is a new word, referendum on your worth. Love should not require you to abandon yourself. She was just literally on the Jason Lee show talking about her former relationship with Jacob and how this one with Joey is completely different. So my heart does hurt for her. I want to talk about Hulu, the girls, before we talk about London. And before we talk about Atlanta, we're doing kind of like Spitfire reality today. Hulu, the girls. I do want it to be renewed. I don't want Khloe narrating though. That was so terrible. Like Khloe as a producer, like I get you're trying to produce, but I don't want to hear you narrating, especially when you're like barely in the scenes. And it's very interesting to see you kind of be this narrator, this producer of your friend group. I'm like, is this your friend group? The only people I know for sure your friends are literally Malika and Khadijah, because I knew she literally grew up with them. And then from my understanding, Iris is more of Kylie's friend. So like I don't really, and then Nat and Olivia, those are more of Kim's friends. So, and then Nicole's just there. Poor Nicole, gorgeous girl, but she's just there. So it's just really weird, the whole narrating thing. And it's like you're barely in the scene and like they're kind of treating Khloe as godfather. Like it's like you don't know if you're confiding into your friend or if you're confiding into the producer that is trying to get a scene, right? So we have Nat and Liv and Nicole. That's from Wags. I used to love Wags. I used to love Wags Miami. I think they are from Wags LA. They're from Wags LA. Um, a whole time. Okay, we know Nat and Liv are cousins, even though they have sisters. It's so funny to me how they're cousins that look like literally exactly alike. Liv, I need you to let that bleach blonde go. She looks so much better as a brunette with like maybe the blonde highlights. That bleach blonde looks terrible on her. Like it looks so bad that I want her to go back to her brown. I thought she was gonna have this bleach blonde for 1 year. She has had this for years. Girl, I can imagine how many hair strands she has. Probably none. It's so damaging to your hair. I did not. Her hair is bleach blonde. Like it looks so bad, you guys. It looks so bad. We got Nicole, the ultimate baddie, who's married to Larry English, and I'm genuinely shocked to see where their relationship is. Naysayers are going to talk, but I think they've grown a lot because the Larry and Nicole, I remember he used to act so disinterested in her. And now seeing them as a family unit, I think they've grown a lot. I think they love each other a lot. I see the love there. I did not see the love on Wags at all. And she was like literally basically begging for a proposal. Like she was like, I want him to get down on one knee. So I never really saw the love there prior, right? Moving on, we have Iris. I really think Iris is that girl. Gorgeous. I love the hair. I love the outfits, the makeup, like everything. There's something about her that I genuinely like. I enjoy her. And then we got Khadijah and Malika. I know Malika for one. Her and Khloe are like this. Malika has been around since they have been, well, both of them have been around, but I know Malika and Khloe, if anything, are probably like the closest. But she's known them since they were 16. Iris, I think she has known through Kylie. She said that. And then Nat and Liv were obviously through Kim. And I didn't know Nat curated Kim's social media feed, and that's how they became cool. Nat and Liv had a spinoff on E, and it was the most boring show. And I think I gave them a chance because I just thought they were like so gorgeous. And I'm like, I love that they're cousins, but they're like sisters, like more sisters than their actual sisters. Actually funny. But they are so boring to me. They are so boring, and I don't know why they constantly have a platform. They're so boring, and they're Canadian, so there's that. Malika and Khadijah I always thought should have been on reality TV, a reality show, something. Iris, this girl, she needs to be on a reality show. So do I think it's gonna get renewed? Yes, because Hulu loves the Kardashians, clearly. Um, I don't need the narrations. Iris is a little weird. She tries to set up her current friend Liv with her former husband. I think that was a little weird. I think it's weird that her current man gets the daughter from your former relationship tattooed on you. I think that was odd. And okay, so that's that. Iris and Nat clearly have something going on. Nat does not want anyone talking about her baby daddy, who we all know is Andre Drummond. Sorry if you didn't know. Now you know. You look you can look the kid, you can look the guy up. The kid looks just like him. But she sends a text message that kind of sets the tone of filming, and it's very sneaky. It's very like, please do not mention the father on here. I don't know why she's so like weird about that. She was weird about it on the spinoff show when she had just had her baby. She was really weird, like, don't mention his name. So I don't know if he's not claiming the kid, but they said he's following the Instagram of the kid. So I don't know why she's being weird about that. I don't know if there's a child custody thing going on. I don't know what's going on. And then we have her and Iris have some weird conflict, because I will say Iris is a real one. She is like, why is this off limits? I will say I think the twins, Malika and Khadijah, at least Malika is like trying to produce a lot, and I think maybe that comes from seeing your friend grow up on reality TV and you're like, okay, I know I need to give like a good show. I think Malika was producing a lot. I think it's clear that Khloe was producing a lot, because it's just difficult for me to like have my group of friends. I want y'all to go on a reality show and thug it out. The best tea though is that the girls were supposed to have confessionals, and Khloe decided to take them out last minute. I think she decided to take them out last minute because she wanted to protect the girls. Okay, but you can just tell Iris and Nat don't really get along. You can tell Iris is actually Kylie's friend. You can tell the twins are actually Khloe's friends. You can tell Nat and Liv were just placed there, and definitely Nicole was just plopped there to kind of balance it out. But it does seem like a very weird group. And yeah, I just can't see myself producing my friend group and not actively being there, which is why I think it's weird with the whole narrating and stuff. But I don't know. Should you give it a chance? Yes. I enjoyed it a lot more than House of Stassi. I could not get into House of Stassi at all. And I just don't like this whole new thing the reality shows are doing of like narrating how we got here, how we got to lights, camera, actions. This should be a reality show. I'm not really interested in the minutia. I'm just interested in the drama. And honestly, oh my gosh, and honestly, like, they didn't really have that much drama. A lot of it was self-produced. I was not interested in watching Malika go on a date with like Edwin or whatever. Like, I was just like, that was giving honestly a lot. But other than that, the girls, I would give it a chance if you're interested in that sort of vibe. But just beware that there is, in my opinion, a lot of producing going on. Moving on to the best housewife show right now on Peacock, which is Real Housewives of London. I am so glad I got into my Real Housewives of London bag. That is amazing. So we got 6 girls, I believe. We got the 2 Juliets, one that's Australian, and then you have one that is American. So neither of them are from the UK. We have Amanda, and I love Amanda. I really do like Amanda. We got Karen, Panthea. I like Panthea. I like Karen. And we have Nessie. I actually like all of the girls. I think my favorite, though, is definitely Amanda, even though she is denying American Juliet's friendship. So the lore on Juliet is very interesting because I guess she used to be on Ladies of London, the OG version. As we know, the new reboot has been canceled. I never got into the OG version of Ladies of London. I low-key now want to. I understand Caroline Stanbury is on there. And then we also got an appearance from her on the Real Housewives of London. And then we also got an appearance from Dorinda Medley, which I love to see. But the girls, at least at this point, we are seeing the whole Angela versus Juliet thing play out. And honestly, Amanda is a reader. She will call you a idiotic twat, a pea-sized brain to your face. You have marriage, like everything to your face, okay? I really liked Karen and Panthea's back and forth. Unfortunately, Karen's sitting out right now because she has lost her sister unexpectedly, so very sad. I even like Panthea. Panthea told Juliet, Australian Juliet, to shut the F up on the first episode. If you guys need a show to watch, Real Housewives of London is really good. We're 7 to 8 episodes in. We're going to actually start recapping it, especially as Atlanta is off. I just have a few remarks I want to talk about Atlanta. And then it's like honestly the show, because Atlanta's over. Atlanta is over. And I just have like some thoughts I want to say. But I do think I am going to start recapping Real Housewives of London, especially until what do we have coming on soon? We're going to talk about Real Housewives of New York when that comes on. And then we're going to talk about Salt Lake City eventually. But I think right now we're going to be recapping London. I'm not really interested in recapping the Ultimate Girls Trip because it's something that's kind of just like funny to watch. Like it's nothing like that too deep. And then, yeah, I think London would be the show I would be recapping. But in terms of the dynamics in the group, you can tell like Karen, Amanda are like cool. And then you can tell like Nessie and Australian Juliet are basically like the peacemakers, I would say, or they're trying to keep things level. And then we have this feud brewing with American Ladies of London, Juliet and Amanda. But what I will say about that is they're trying to get back on terms, but it's not really working. But I will say also that I think Panthea hops in the mix, like honestly, too much for my liking. And she is very mean. But like I kind of like all of them. Like Panthea just literally calling Amanda a dumb blonde to her face is like insane. And the thing is, Amanda, she'll give you a couple of moments, a couple of licks, and then she's gonna be like, okay, what we're not doing is that, right? And she's going to come back with you with fire and heat. And I don't know, I just like Amanda. I really do like Amanda. She's probably my favorite, but I don't know why she is denying her friendship with that Juliet girl. I think she was involved with the lesbian because there was some breakdown in their friendship. There was some girl that Juliet introduced her to, and I guess during COVID they got into a big argument or whatever. And the issue is that Juliet took the other girl's side. She did not take Amanda's side. So Amanda was basically like, this friendship is not serving me any value. Go along. And Juliet's perspective is that you just wanted me so I could promote your skincare brand. And when I wasn't doing it, I just felt like you started acting different. Like when everything literally turned into, can you get a video for my skincare brand? Amanda has a reputation in London that she is this essentially floozy who can't keep her legs closed, and she attracts billionaires, and then she gets with them, and she basically gets them to give them half of their earnings to her, and she was able to take half those earnings and create this skincare brand. I don't know why she would get into skincare. I feel like getting into skincare is like one of the dumbest industries you can get into unless you are like someone with like reputable skin and like actually respected. So I don't see her skincare brand doing anything. That's like Paris Hilton coming out with a skincare brand. Like you can have good skin, but I wouldn't come out with a skincare brand. I would collab with skincare brands for certain products. I would never create a skincare brand unless I am literally the OG of skincare and like people come to me for skincare. Like this is when you have just it doesn't matter if you're Paris Hilton or Amanda from Europe. You're not going to be making that much money if you get into skincare or makeup. Like, what is the difference? It's like Victoria Beckham Beauty. I don't know who uses that. And I've seen the prices. Just because you're Victoria Beckham doesn't mean your makeup line's going to pop off. And quite frankly, I've seen your makeup. It's nothing I'm like, I need to buy it. This is where you get confused with the celebrity status and influencing status. Fenty Beauty has been able to maintain this certain level because of her marketing. And then I also feel like a lot of these brands, a lot of these celebrity brands, they don't use marketing anymore. This is why Sacred is so good, because of the marketing. Let's start with the name. The Sacred name is so sacred in itself, right? But there's only very few celebrity brands that I feel like actually pop off and make it. People love Rare Beauty. People love Rem by Ariana Grande. People love Fenty Beauty. You know, there's certain brands, but I always say the best brands for makeup and cosmetics is literally the people that work in it. So like you have the one size, you have the Huda Beauty, you have those that aren't going anywhere because those are people that actually have worked in makeup. So they actually know what the people want. It's not just for them to put their name on something. So yeah, Amanda's starting a skincare business. It sounds like I don't think it's going to be doing well that often. Let's move on to Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad it's wrapped up. Unfortunate that Portia and Shamia cannot get on, good terms for one last time, one time for the two time. It is unfortunate that the show did get in the way of their friendship. But what I will say, it was more than just this season and the previous season. This has been a build up to this friendship breakdown for a long time. They have both been doing some shady stuff. I do think that the mothers not being on great terms has also contributed to that. It's just never was going to be what we thought it was going to be. And unfortunately, once Shamia was added on the show, it made it even a lot dicier. I think Shamia should stop apologizing next season. Shamia, I want you to come back and be on your FU. I want you to spend Gerald's money. I want you to live in freaking Sterling Hall. And I want you to pop it. And I want you to do your big one. I want you to host these extravagant parties. I want you to invite the ladies over for these extravagant dinners. And I want you to serve body tea and not giving an F. I genuinely do. I don't want her to give an F anymore, because giving an F is honestly getting you in the non-favors line. And it's like, I genuinely think she has the potential to be a fan favorite. I just don't want her to give an F anymore. Just take your feelings out of it. Be a vampire. Turn it off. Turn it the F off. Kelly, I want you to keep rage baiting the girls because I live for it. I think it was a little interesting that Jarvis is on, whatever his real name is. I think it's a little weird that he's on and making comments about the women. Be careful with that, Kelly. And if you're going to stay with him, make sure he's paying you or paying your house for something. I love Kelly. Kelly's my favorite. I don't care. Angela, stick to less investigating. Do your reads. Try not to rehearse them as much, because even this third part reunion, it was giving read when you were like, and you're living in Shamia's house. Like, we get it. She's living in Shamia's house still. She's on the front porch. She's making her chicken and waffles on the grill. Like, I get it. Like, she's in Shamia's house, even though she's not in Shamia's house anymore. Like, it's not funny anymore. And she keeps... Angela's really, like, honestly annoyed me. I'm kind of over her. Less reading, Angela. Just, like, exist. I can tell, though, like, if Angela's gonna be on here for the next... If she's gonna be on here, her and Charles aren't gonna make it. There's gonna be some cheating scandal. Again. You heard it here first. She's really insecure about that relationship. Portia, I hope you... Happy Pride. Happy Pride, Portia. Portia look has came a long way as a Portia defender in the past, as a Portia low-key hater now, I guess I am. Portia has come a long way. She's done a full 180. You should be proud of her. We should all be proud of her. She's come a long way. She's definitely working on her anger management. And yeah, she's definitely just like come a long way. I definitely think she is very seasoned now and she kind of knows what she's doing. So for me, it's kind of hard to trust that. I think though, I don't have anything negative to say about Portia. Everything I have negative about Portia is just people that I feel like are lapdogging her a lot, like Drew and Angela and even Phaedra. I do think they're being her lap dogs like a lot, but I don't really have anything negative about Portia. Like, she didn't really annoy me. I just think like she does make up a lot of lies. And I can always tell when she's starting to lie because she starts to go off and she's like, well, I had, and she starts adding like little details. Well, I had met up with this person that is obviously not a part of the cast, but they were saying something. It's just like always a bunch of extra words. And I'm like, okay, where are we landing this airplane? Because I'm like, I can tell you're literally thinking of a lie right now. I'm just sick of them lying on Shamia and the bodies she has. So Shamia keeps sending out the cease and desist. But Portia, I don't know. Portia had a good season. She had a good season. She's a seasoned vet now. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I definitely know I don't want it to be the Portia show anymore. I definitely don't want that. Drew, I do think you should probably like worry about getting full custody of your kids again, maybe trying to look less like Portia and let it go. Phaedra, I'll have you back as a friend of. You don't really need to be a housewife. K Michelle, I hope you took this experience. And K Michelle and Pinky Cole, I hope you, Pinky Cole has been amazing. I hope Pinky Cole comes back. I'm afraid she's not going to come back, but I hope she comes back. K Michelle, I hope you learn your lesson that you don't need to get ahead of everything. Kind of just let people show you who they are, and if it is a plot, if it is a scheme, trust and believe the Bravo audience will find out for you, and we'll probably make a TikTok about it. But other than that, I thought it was a really good season. I'm hoping this entire cast comes back for the next season because I just think we need a good 2 seasons with the same cast before things do start getting a little dry. I think this is a really good cast, and I'm looking forward to the feud of next season, which will definitely be the Standard versus the Fanji. Angela and Kelly are going to have an epic feud next season, and I'm here for it. I am here for Shamia hopefully making amends with some of the girls in the group, including K Michelle. I think her and K Michelle can get back together on good terms. And I mean, I always hope that her and Portia can, but I just, how do you come back from the mothers, the kids, the sleeping, and you don't really come back from that. So I'm hoping they can coexist and it not be awkward. But we shall see. That was a spectacular season 17. I'm hoping for maybe a Nene cameo next season. And I don't know, I don't want any new housewives. I want this group. I want to simmer with this group. But if I had to get rid of one person, it would be Drew Sidora. Thank you so much for listening to What the Reality with me, Cassia Roberts. And this was your Toxic Tuesday episode. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.